I don't really understand what the reluctance is to be able to allow taxpayers in Colorado and across this country pay their taxes with a pre-populated form like people have in other countries all over the world. You know, for decades and decades and decades, people in other places, all across the OECD countries, all across, frankly, all across the world, have been able to pay their taxes so much more efficiently, with so much less red tape, with so much less bureaucracy. And now it sounds like we're sort of going in the wrong direction. Could you just explain why it is that we can't seem to catch up to basic technology in the rest of the world?
Yeah, why would you say we're going in the wrong direction, sir?
Because the pre-populated forms that people are able, as a matter of course, in places from Australia to the OECD, countries, people in America don't have the chance to do. And Direct File, which was, you've answered your question to the chairman about Direct File, but that was something that was very popular with the American people, something that gave them the chance to more expeditiously file their returns. I'm not saying it was perfect. That's not my point. My point is different than that. Why is it so hard for us to deliver the basic level of customer service that the rest of the world enjoys? And by the way, that's a question I've asked to your predecessors. It's not just you.
Thank you for the question, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking the time to explain it. If you look at this tax season, even the stats will tell you 98% of our filings were electronic, and 98% of Americans received a direct deposit within 21 days or less. So that's the best stats we ever had in terms of performance. If you look at what's going on in refunds, it's the largest refund. So we've had the highest volume and, in fact, the fastest payments to the Americans. That's just pure facts, right? And that was 80 million Americans. That's 10% more than last year. So when you look at the filing season, and then, there was a leaked Inspector General report that actually said phone servicing was over 40% better this year than last year.
What is the reason not to make it easier? What is the reason?
Well, I'm talking about all ways that we are making it easier. And if you look at 500 million online inquiries by taxpayers, right? That's hundreds of millions more because we created tremendous capability. That's the good career working technologists at the IRS.
I'm not, my problem is not with the people working at the IRS. Although I have some question about whether or not they're in the right place right now. But the thing that's so shocking to me is we're making it harder for people that are working people to file their returns than in other countries around the world. That's indisputable. I mean, you can read off these statistics, but it's indisputable that it's much easier in Australia to file your tax returns for working people, just to pick one place, than it is in the United States of America. And at the same time, so we're making it harder than other places for working people. At the same time, the estimates are that the lack of cops on the beat at the IRS is going to cost the Treasury of the United States $646 billion in unpaid taxes by the wealthiest people in America, contributing to the $38 trillion deficit that we have, debt that we have in this nation. By the way, I remember you saying when you and I met before your confirmation that you were deeply concerned about the level of national debt in this country. It is $38 trillion, and a lot of that is because of the completely unpaid for tax bill that is the Trump tax bill. So what do you say about the $646 billion, well, $643 billion of uncollected revenue, taxes people owe in this nation?
I say, first of all, one thing I'd say is we need to figure out, you're talking about the tax gap, and what I've seen is nobody's ever worked on the tax gap. And we need to decide what is the addressable tax gap, and we need to go get it. But enforcement revenue is up 12% this year. Enforcement revenue is up 12% this year. The top 5 cases this year are $2 billion. So, and that's not, I'm making a point because, in fact, we are going to work equally on every bad actor.
Okay, what we just heard, Mr. Chairman, was testimony that said that nobody has ever worked on the tax gap. I think it's long overdue that the IRS should be collecting taxes from the wealthiest people in this country. That, and the head of the IRS says they're not doing that. Thank you.
That's not what I said.
We all agree we should address the tax gap, and I think he said that he is too.
Good. Well, I agree. Thank you for
Send us an
interpreting.
example of it.